Hello, everyone. I hope you're keeping well and that you are healthy. I just wanted to take a few moments to talk about my experiences with racism, particularly in the Jewish community and particularly growing up. I went to a Jewish primary school and a Jewish secondary school, and I recall in my secondary school, predominantly in years 7, 8, and 9, there was a divide between the white students and the students of any other colour. The school that I went to was an all Jewish school, so this wasn't a religious divide. This was a divide which really came down to the way that people looked. Particularly, I remember that white students would often refer to the non-white students as Paki. Very common to say Paki, Paki, Paki repeatedly to taunt them. Often when non-white students were around, particularly in the playground, the banter, the joke would be about them smelling of curry or having an unpleasant aroma about them. And I definitely recall this going on when I was in year 7, year 8, and year 9. The thing that I don't ever recall is anyone ever stopping us or telling us that this was wrong. I don't recall any teacher ever saying this was a problem, and I do think that the teachers were aware of it. I can't recall also any teachers in the school, particularly the Jewish studies teachers, who were not white. I think it was predominantly a very white Ashkenazi crowd of staff. You know, in some ways, I'm not making this video to point fingers specifically at the school where I grew up. But I'm doing it to raise an awareness that maybe there's an assumption that either this type of racism doesn't happen even within specific Jewish communities, or that it only happens from white Jewish people against black specific Jewish people. But no, I mean, it happens against from white to all different shades of skin colour. And also sometimes I think that teachers assume that students maybe do know that this is wrong and that they don't need to state it. But I think to emphasise that teachers do need to make a point of, specifically Jewish studies teachers and rabbinic leadership in school need to make a point of standing up and saying and helping to educate their students about the rich diversity of Jewish life. And that means that Jews, as all human beings, do not look the same at all. I definitely know that the current movement that's been going on at the moment, particularly around the long established racism within our society, is making me wake up, making me realise how uneducated I am. I think if you would have even asked me a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, do I consider myself to hold any racist views, I would have said no. I'm white, I'm liberal. I'm beyond those things. But I think as what I'm learning is that I just don't yet really have the tools to have a proper conversation about race, and I'm trying to develop and grow myself to make sure that I'm better equipped to first of all understand the riches of Jewish and world history beyond just the narrative that I've learned and grown up with, as well as ensuring that I'm better equipped to have conversations about things like white privilege and race and equality. So I kind of feel that the end point that I want to say, particularly to people who identify as white, is it's okay to get things wrong when you're having these conversations. I think trying to have the conversations is essentially the most important thing. I definitely feel nervous or uncomfortable at times when I'm scared, I'm trying to reach out and have these conversations, and am I going to read something or write something or say something that's going to be offensive? I think the main thing is that you're trying really not to do those things, but that you don't let the fear that you might make a mistake stop you from exploring and growing. So I hope this video is helpful. I hope you all have a good week ahead, and I look forward to making another message soon.